LLM stands for Large Language Model. It's like whenever you're learning a language for the first time. You start with the alphabet, then you move on to words, maybe phrases after that, and then full sentences. And learning that language takes place over time, then it eventually leads to you learning more about something like culture. LLMs are based on a type of AI called machine learning, which we've actually made a video about. We cover machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, cognitive science. It's super fascinating. Machine learning helps an LLM predict based on phrases. So if you say New York, the LLM will likely fill in city as the third word in that phrase. Or it might understand after once upon a comes the word time. Through these predictions, an LLM can generate phrases, poetry, books. As you've probably seen, an LLM is really great at things like text generation, translation, summarizing content, rewriting content, categorizing, analyzing sentiment, and even having a conversation with humans. Depending on when you're watching this video, some LLMs may be more popular, but right now, the primary LLM is ChatGPT. ChatGPT was developed by OpenAI. It's used by companies like Microsoft, Duolingo, Stripe, and it has 175 billion plus parameters at the time of filming this video. There's also another really popular LLM called Gemini by Google. Gemini Nano has 1.8 and 3 billion parameter options. The other versions of Gemini are unknown in terms of their parameters. Meta's LLM is called Llama. We don't know many of the popular applications that are using it, but it does have 7, 13, and 70 billion parameter options. Claude is another really popular LLM. It was created by Anthropic, which is a group of researchers who actually left OpenAI. It's used in Slack, Notion, and Zoom currently, but we don't know how many parameters it has. And if you get pretty deep into the AI industry, there are other popular LLMs from companies that are a bit smaller than these large corporations. Like you've got Stability AI, we've got Mistral AI, even X has their own AI, which is called Grok. So what I'm saying here is there are a lot of LLMs being developed. These LLMs are really impressive, but they're definitely not perfect. They can hallucinate, which is when they give really inaccurate responses to your questions. You could consider this a positive or a negative, but LLMs also don't have beliefs or feelings, so they don't feel the emotions that they portray when we're speaking to them. They're just a pattern prediction technology, so this makes it a bit less human in the way that it operates, even though sometimes it fakes these beliefs or feelings depending on which LLM you're using. LLMs can also reflect bias based on the data it was trained on. Google recently got into a lot of trouble for their LLM being racist. Then you've also got the just general inherent bias of human beings. All of these LLMs were trained on the data across the internet. If they are not filtering out bias, then the LLMs can appear biased as well. However, my biggest issue with LLMs as somebody who works in the AI industry is that they require so much computational power and development that really only the largest organizations have access to the resources required, which is why you see names like Google and Meta on this list. This means that once again, the largest corporations are going to have the most power and the most access to data. This might change in the future because there are startups that are working to decentralize computational power to help other startups develop LLMs by giving people access to let companies use their GPUs, which is crazy. But the power in LLMs and the reason that they're so important is because of the potential benefits for society. If you've been using ChatGPT for any amount of time, you already know that it's incredibly helpful for you to get your work done in your everyday life. It can help you with content creation, It increases the speed that you're able to get your work done. And the results or the questions or the interactions that you have with it are fully customizable to your unique situation. It's also really easy to use and understand. Have you used ChatGPT before? Let me know down below. In the future, we're probably going to see LLMs from even more companies like Amazon, IBM, Intel, Apple. We'll probably see LLMs running on smartphones and other smaller devices. LLMs are becoming more multimodal, which means that instead of only using text to interact with them, you can use voice, you can upload pictures or video. There's a lot of different ways that you can engage with an LLM. Some people even think that LLMs are a crucial step in the journey of artificial general intelligence, which we talked about in this video. Go ahead and check out that one if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. I got a dog that needs to be let outside, so I'm heading out for this episode. Did I tell you I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, by the way? I live in a zoo.